Hi and welcome to ECCB Connects. It's coming, the new family of EC Polymer Banknotes. This week, Acting Director in the Currency Management Department, Rosbert Humphrey, tells us more about this exciting project. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's coming!
It's coming!
It's coming!
It's coming!
It's coming!
It's coming!
Rosbert, welcome again to ECCB Connects.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to be here.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank has embarked on an exciting project. The bank is changing the material on which the EC banknotes are made from the cotton-based paper to polymer. Yeah. What is polymer?
Polymer is a thin, transparent plastic film made from polypropylene. Polypropylene is sometimes used interchangeably with polypropylene, and all that means is a versatile, complex plastic material.
Why the move to polymer at this time?
Shamalan, although banknotes on polymer started way back in 1988, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank will be the very first central bank in the Eastern Caribbean to issue an entire family of banknotes on polymer. And the main reasons why we actually went to polymer were safer, cleaner, stronger. Safer in the sense that they will be difficult to counterfeit, because right now on paper, the paper banknotes, persons counterfeit these banknotes by using the ordinary photocopying printing paper to counterfeit this. Now, to counterfeit polymer, they first have to obtain that plastic material, which will be very, very difficult. And even if they try to counterfeit polymer on paper, it will be easy to pick up because you'd feel the difference. Cleaner in the sense that they are resistant to water, resistant to dirt, resistant to moisture and other liquids. Okay, with paper banknotes, they tend to absorb in the paper and make them unfit for circulation in quick time. Stronger because they will be more durable. Durable in the sense that they last 3 to 5 times longer than paper banknotes. They'll be difficult to tear.
In short, Rosbert, the public can look forward to banknotes that are more secure, cleaner for longer, and of course more durable.
Correct.
You also mentioned that the notes will be made from a plastic base, and we know that member governments are moving away from the use of plastic to biodegradable items. What sort of impact will the polymer notes have on the environment?
I'm glad you asked that. The way we dispose of our plastic items, forks, styrofoam containers or so on, it won't be the same we would dispose of our monies. We're not going to throw them down on the ground. We're not going to, get rid of them, any old place.
They're not single use.
They are not single use, very much so. And even if you see one on the ground, somebody's going to pick it up anyway, right? The way we dispose of our paper banknotes is by shredding them, send them to the landfill. They get burned, the ashes degrade in the soil as per usual. With plastic, you can't burn plastic. Once heat is applied to plastic, they melt and turn one big lump. We don't want to create that environmental hazard. So what the ECCB will be doing is to send the shredded material, plastic or polymer material, to a recycling plant that can use them to transform them into plastic chairs, table, some recycle items.
And that's after the polymer notes are no longer fit for circulation.
Right. Once they're unfit for circulation, that's how we will destroy them.
Rosbert, with the change to polymer, the EC notes will maintain quite a bit of the current features, but there will also be some significant major changes. Tell us about these changes.
So some of the changes that we have made to the banknotes include the orientation of the banknote. The current banknote are oriented from left to right in a landscape position. The banknotes would now be in portrait, in reading from top down. Okay. Another feature is the holographic foil strip, which we have on the 20s, the 50s, and the 100s. This is a shiny, glossy material on the banknotes where when you tilt the banknotes, you tend to see different images appearing and disappearing on the banknote. It will be very difficult to counterfeit such a feature like that. We also have these...
But why the 20s, 50s, and 100s only?
These notes are the ones that are most susceptible to counterfeiting. That's why we include them on the 20s, the 50s, and the 100. We also have the same images and landmarks on the banknotes. It's just that now they have been modernized, they have been improved images. We also have a unique tactile feature on the banknotes. This is mainly for the blind and the visually impaired persons. These are some raised bumps that form themselves into shapes that the blind and the visually impaired persons can feel and know which denomination banknotes they have in their hand. We also have a new design on the 50, and the signature of the present governor, Timothy N.J. Antoine, will be featured on the banknotes. The present banknotes, they have the signature of the former governor, Sir K. Dwight Venner.
And Rosbert, this falls right in line with the new design on the 50. Tell us a bit about this new design.
So we are excited about this new $50. It now bears the image of Sir K. Dwight Venner, the former governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the longest serving governor of any central bank in the world.
And of course, this is to honor this legacy.
Very much so.
Rosbert, you mentioned a unique tactile feature on the notes, specifically designed for the blind and visually impaired, and it's to help them identify the different denominations. How will they be able to identify the denominations on each note?
Because these tactile features, they form themselves into, they form shapes on the banknote. So it's like a different shape for each denomination. That's why we said unique tactile feature. So on the 5, the blind or the visually impaired persons can feel a circle and know it's a 5. The 10s, they can feel an X. With the 20s is a rectangle, the 50s a triangle, and the 100s is a square.
Okay. Rosbert, I know you've been having engagements with the blind and visually impaired throughout the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, and they have welcomed this feature.
Yes, they do.
Yes. Let's hear some comments from them in this regard.
We have come a long way as blind persons, and we like to have our own independence. And so it's been a good experience today to learn about the notes and to know we're going to expect good things when we start using them for ourselves.
I find that the notes are easily identified. For example, a $100 note is a square, which can be identified with your finger as a blind person. Similarly, a $50 bill is a triangle, and we look forward to testing the other notes, the $5 notes and the $20 notes.
It's gonna make me as a blind person very more independent, since I will be able to easily identify the monies that I have, and we want to congratulate the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank for this initiative.
More confident in handling my own money, because now I wouldn't have to go and ask somebody, that is what. I can just feel it and know exactly what note I have in my hand.
Now that I'm able to touch and detect the different notes, I don't have to bother my little nieces and nephews. I'm now able to manage and control, my money. As I said, I am king controlling my money. So as I said, I want to say thanks to the bank for, this initiative, and I hope that it would reach, out to more persons who are blind and visually impaired, and they too, the same way I'm feeling, they would have the same feelings.
I really appreciate the notes. Teach us really to be independent and help us more, because sometimes we have to be by ourselves and using money. So it would help us to, to get around the money and the identifying the notes and how they are put into the money. Help us, even though we are slow in reading, some of us, that we can grasp that, because it is so simple that the simplest of person can understand the notes very well.
I love the notes, especially with the different things at the top. It make it more easier for us to figure out which note the notes are. So I love them very much.
So I'm happy today to see that we're moving along with technology and creating the conditions. So, and even with simpler markings, we got it that it's coming with circle, triangle, rectangle, square, and the next, and the next. Very good. Simple, outstanding. I think that this is an excellent thing we're doing here. I commend, should I say, laud and applaud the Monetary Council for doing it and thus giving us an opportunity to make the first step. And I know this will last because you can tell from the texture, the molecular texture of the material, that it will last. Of giving us, as visually impaired people, the opportunity, one step towards the opportunity of economic independence.
It's so important. It makes me feel so good. I feel like a queen with my money now. Nobody can rule me.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming!
Rosbert, we've heard it. The new family of EC Polymer Notes, it's coming.
Yes, it's coming.
When can the public expect to see these notes?
Well, we will have the 50s available in May or June this year. The 20s, the 10s, and the 100s we will issue in August, September this year. And then the 5s we will issue in August, September in 2020.
And I'm sure the public is really looking forward to this.
We are all excited in all of this.
Rosbert, thank you very much for speaking with us again on ECCB Connects.
Thank you very much. It was certainly my pleasure.
To view any episode of ECCB Connects anytime, any place, at your convenience, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn at ECCB Connects. And now, this week's financial tip.
If you make a purchase off your credit card, pay off the bill as soon as you receive it. If you can't pay the entire balance, pay more than the minimum amount due. Also, make paying off your credit card balance a goal and set a timetable to achieve this.
Here's where we end this week's episode of ECCB Connects. Thanks very much for watching, and do join us again next week when we'll be back with another program.